so today we're going to work on page number 76. We're going to do example 5, which is the skirt front dart tucks. Now it's the exact same process as if it were a regular dart, it's just how we kind of mark it that's different. So we're going to go ahead and do the pivot method here to combine our two darts into one, and our starting and stopping point will be here, right at the center front dart there. Now, because it's a combined dart, we're going to use the center dart point, the pivot point here. So first things we're going to do is we're just going to start at our starting point, trace around, come down your center front. Now when you do this, make sure you pick up your hip line. So I'm just going to make a little tick because I don't have notches. You're going to come across your hem. You're going to come all the way up your side seam. Again, you're going to want to pick up your hip line, and you're going to come across and stop right here at this first dart leg. Okay, so that is step number 1. So I'm just going to write that down. Step 1. Okay, I'm just going to switch colors so you guys can see better what I'm doing. So let's do this in green. So because we're doing a combined dart, we're again using this middle point. I don't have a push pin because I'm not working on a cork board. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick a pencil in there so that I can pivot around the pencil. So what you're going to do is a small movement to join this dart leg to this dart leg. So you're just going to pivot it until it matches up with where we stopped. So that looks about right. So you're just going to pick up this middle section here. So right there to right there. And because we started and stopped right here at the corner, if we were to pivot this all the way closed, there would be nothing for us to pick up because we started there. Okay, so you can take this away. You'll have a little hole in your paper where your pivot point is, so I'm just going to mark my little tiny pencil mark there so you can see it better. Okay, so next step, we're just going to draw across our hip line. So you want to make sure it is square to your center front and side seam. Just going to go across. We'll label that hip. Oh. And this down here is our hemline. We'll label that hem. And of course this is our center front. Okay, so what you're going to do now, so we started here, stopped right here, so that is the new opening of your dart. What we're going to do, because it is a dart tuck, we're not going to sew the full dart. So what you're going to do is you're just going to draw your dart legs to your dart tip, and you're going to use a dotted line. So I'm just doing that in dark blue so you can see. So there's one dart leg. I'm going to pivot it around. This is my second dart leg. So that's the new position of our dart. So we've closed both of the original darts and moved it to here. So it's a combined dart, we're not going to do any shortening, nothing like that. So the next step is to fold across your center front dart leg, which is this one here. So just take your paper and fold it along your dart leg there, your dotted line. Okay. Then you're going to open it back up and fold across your dart tip. Okay, so I'm just going to turn it this way so you guys can see it better. So what I like to do is I like to kind of stick my nail there so that it pivots at that exact point. You're going to take your creased dart leg, fold it closed, make sure this doesn't do anything weird over here. So So you're going to fold that closed. Fold your intake up here so it lays nice and flat for you, and you can just flatten that out. Okay, so now everything's laying nice and flat, and you can see our waistline needs to be blended. So let's take some light blue here. So what you're going to do is you're always going to use a curve. So this is my curve. I'm just going to kind of position it so that it kind of blends from this line to this line. So that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to join across here and blend that back out. Okay, so that's my new waistline in the blue. Now the other thing we're going to do is mark where they're going to stop sewing these dart legs. So in the textbook it says 1.5 inches down. So you're going to be working with your half scale ruler. I'm using full scale, so my measurement's going to look a little different. So I'm going to use 1/2 inches because I'm working in full scale, which is 3/4 of an inch. So as long as you use your half scale ruler, the measurement will be 1.5 inches. So I'm just going to draw a solid line down my dart legs. Okay, and then I'm also going to draw a little crosshair across that. Okay, so that is how far they're going to sew it down, and then the rest will just kind of release. So you can open that up and see it. And also, while it's closed, what you want to do is you're going to take your tracing wheel and you're just going to run over the dart intake so that you can see it. Okay, so when you open it up, because I worked with marker, I can kind of see it already. So you're just going to join that, join your intake over here. Okay, and you're just going to finish that off, make it solid, and draw your little crosshairs. Okay, so that's it. You don't have to do any drill holes or anything like that. So that is what your pattern should look like when it's all opened up and done. So you're going to have your new blended hemline, or waistline, sorry. You're going to have your darts drawn with a solid line just to where they're going to stop sewing, and you're going to have little crosshairs there. Make sure you do that step when the dart is folded closed so that you ensure that they match up. Okay, so you're just going to label it number 76. We're going to call it skirt front dart tucks. Okay, you're going to put, say, size 6 and your initials.